Whether you are a seasoned pro in your meeting rhythm or have never even heard of a meeting being called a huddle, improvement in your daily or weekly huddle will positively impact your business. My name is Emmy. I've been with Align for 2 years now, working with our customers on implementation. About 6 months ago, I created a 90-day workshop called the Accountability Course to guide our users through strategy and execution with the Align or Scaling Up scoreboard software in a thoughtful timeline. I noticed a string of frequent questions and decided to record a series of informational videos to find clarity around common topics. This video focuses around huddles, namely 3 specific questions about huddles. First, what should I enter into my daily huddle? Second, how do I get my team started on daily huddles? And lastly, what information should my team discuss in weekly huddles? We'll start with, what should I enter into daily huddles? Just like how the one-page plan breaks your long-term vision down to the quarter, your daily huddle is designed to break your large quarterly goals into small, manageable, bite-sized pieces. You'll share with your team on a daily basis what you're doing to move your priorities forward, the piece you promised to get done today, and your team in return will hold you accountable to your promise. As a team, you have the opportunity to raise the bar through daily execution and accountability. As a manager, you have the opportunity to course correct early if someone on your team is prioritizing a low importance task. In your huddle, you'll just write a quick summary of the important items your team needs to know that happened yesterday, as well as 1 to 3 sentences maximum of what you promised to get done today. One example could be, yesterday, the meeting with ABC Co went great and they agreed to sponsor our April conference. Today, I'm finishing up the Swift Co contract and practicing my pitch for Millennium Partners. Thank you so much, Frank, for marking up my draft. The revisions you made helped me a ton. In this example, I updated the team on something I had mentioned to them yesterday, the meeting with ABC Co. If there is nothing of substance yesterday to report on, there's really no reason to go through your tasks from yesterday again. A reminder, this is really not a time for micromanagement. Your team does not need every single update, just the items that affect their own role or come together to celebrate you in your role. Note that rather than using the words such as working on or trying to finish, in this example, we use very definitive terms. Use this time to thank your team members and connect with them. Leadership definitely sets the tone for what is expected or reasonable in this area. Don't be afraid to highlight some employees that deserve attention. Other off topics to add in here are personal celebrations. Tell your teammates that you're getting a new puppy or that your daughter won the science competition. Meeting on a daily basis is a really wonderful opportunity to expand the human connection of your team. How do I get my team to start doing daily huddles? Approaching the subject initially is the most important part. All team members need to understand the purpose and intention behind the daily huddle, and leadership needs to ensure that the huddle is up to those standards. Reasons why teams do huddles. Efficient communication. At the end of this setup, you're really just cutting down in the overall time spent in meetings because there's no longer need for those one-off meetings that really can drag on for forever. Everyone knows when updates are coming. Less micromanagement, with managers getting answers and results without even having to ask for them. Visibility and transparency into team-wide metrics. And lastly, an increase in productivity through this new framework of accountability. You're promising your team and yourself what you're getting done on a daily basis. A meeting set without intention drags on and employees lose interest. Leadership must set an example of how they would like all daily meetings to be run and emphasize the importance in the different meetings will make in your company. Next, I always recommend setting some rules from day one. Some example rules that I've seen work are: huddle always starts on time. Whoever is late can just read anything that they missed in the updates in their Align app. Huddle always ends on time. This is just a matter of respecting your team's time by setting a limit. Huddle should really take no longer than 10 to 15 minutes of your time every day. Feel free to assign one team member the role of Huddle champion, who makes sure that your team is on time, focused during the meeting. Huddle happens at an off time, for instance, 8:31 as opposed to 8:30. Every team member writes down exactly what they want to say in full sentences. This way, the person speaking is concise and efficient with their words, and any team member can look back at a full record of the meeting any day. Writing up an effective, informative huddle may take a few tries. As a manager, you can give one-on-one feedback to anyone in the huddle that may need additional guidance. The biggest mistake we see is when the huddle becomes a to-do list rather than a to-focus update. Last question was, what should I discuss in my weekly huddles? Weekly huddles are 30 to 60 minute deep dives on a topic relevant to that week. There are 3 different types of weekly huddles in Align and Scoreboard. The first is a goal-based weekly huddle to hold all team members accountable to moving a priority forward. The second is a normal, team-based weekly huddle, such as your leadership team or sales team meeting on a weekly basis. The third is one-on-ones with a team leader and their direct report. So let's dive into all 3. Goal-based weekly huddle. The weekly huddle that I highly recommend adding into your communication rhythms is the goal-based weekly huddle. Your company-wide goals can translate into a huddle that happens every week of that quarter. The priority owner will pick the team that they would like to participate in the weekly huddle, and the team will all hold each other accountable week by week in getting action items completed. Whenever any team comes to me asking why their priorities aren't moving along, I point them in the direction of goal-based weekly huddles. You can go through all the effort of setting amazing, well-thought-out goals. However, unless you have an accountability framework holding you to the execution of the goal is not going to move forward. Team-based weekly huddles. Your normal team-based weekly huddles will be a place to bring up any questions, concerns, and discussion points that came up throughout the week during your daily huddles. This type of huddle is a wonderful complement to the daily huddle, ensuring that the daily huddle stays short and efficient without drifting into larger conversations. All longer conversations and questions will be saved throughout the week in your weekly huddle text box to be brought up in the designated 30 to 60 minute meeting. Some teams prefer weekly huddles to daily huddles, although I always recommend taking advantage of the effects of the daily huddle as well. It is completely up to you to decide the best meeting rhythm for your team. One-on-ones. One-on-ones are a great way to hold your direct reports accountable. Weekly huddles are customizable within Align. For a one-on-one format, you can change the text box headers to be something like business highs and lows and personal highs and lows. Tracking your one-on-ones in Align are easy and effective because any idea that comes out throughout the week or action item that presents itself during the meeting can all be tracked in one convenient place. That way, you're always prepared for your meeting, with meeting notes that have been collecting by themselves all week. I hope that this walkthrough helped in clearing up any questions you have around Huddle best practices. However, I'm always excited to hear from you and any follow-up questions you might have. If any other questions came up from this video, I'm personally happy to help, as well as happy to guide you to our additional resources. For a deeper look at how this methodology can impact your business, our accountability course is open to new and current users. Please feel free to schedule a free 30-minute consultation with me through my email or calendar link to review your current priority setup or to ask questions about our accountability course. Thanks again for watching, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.